Good afternoon. Hello, I'm Anne-Marie Winterburn from Spot On Driving, helping learner drivers pass their theory test and pass their driving test, and to help them get confident about taking those tests as well. I have been asked to talk about what is the difference between Pelican, Toucan, Puffin and zebra crossings. I'm going to add in Pegasus crossings as well though. So I'm going to talk about crossings and then talk about the different types of crossings, and then you will be able to answer theory test questions about the different crossings. All of this information is in my workshop, so you will be able to see it, watch video tutorials and listen to explanations and have really simple ways of remembering as well. But you've asked me to do this, so I'm going to explain it all to you here as well. If you think it's going to be useful to anybody, then I'd really appreciate you liking and sharing this video so that other people can see this information. It's going to help you as a driver, and it's going to help you to pass your theory test. So first of all, I've been asked about pedestrian crossings. These are places that pedestrians can cross the road. They are safe places where pedestrians will have priority to cross the road. And there are 5 different types of crossings. As a driver, you need to know how to approach them and deal with them. But for your theory, you need to tell the difference, or you need to know the difference between the crossings, okay? So, and know how they differ. So I'm going to explain about each crossing to you. But you need to know that for all of the crossings, like it's a place where pedestrians can cross, you need to keep or have some responsibility towards keeping the pedestrians safe. So you never park on the zigzag lines near a pedestrian crossing. You must never overtake near the zigzag lines near a pedestrian crossing. You should avoid stopping on the crossing. So you need to plan if it's traffic light control. You need to plan where you're going to stop if there's a build-up of traffic, because we shouldn't stop on the crossing. It's a place for pedestrians to get across the road. If a pedestrian is waiting at a crossing and it's time for them to go, you must never tell them to go, never ever wave them across. This can be really dangerous, and you'll be asked that question. You will come across that question when you're preparing for your theory and you're doing your theory test. Be aware as well, as a driver, that pedestrians don't always cross on the crossing. Think about yourself when you go out to town and there's a crossing. Do you always get to the crossing and then cross the road, or do you cross sometimes near the crossing? So just be aware that pedestrians may cross on or near a crossing. And also pedestrians can cross anywhere. We want to keep them safe everywhere. When they're on the crossing, they have priority, but when they're on the road in front of us, they're going to have priority as well. We're not going to run them over, are we? So be aware of that as a driver. Let's talk about zebra crossings first. Zebra crossings are not traffic light controlled. They don't have traffic lights. What they do have is the black and white stripes going across the road like a zebra, striped like a zebra, and they'll have 2 beacons, one either side of the road, that have flashing lights on top, so that you can spot these crossings easily. They'll also have those zigzag lines on the road near the curb, so you know you mustn't park or overtake near there, and you can spot the crossing easily. It's got the zigzag line, the black and white lines going across the road, the stripes, and the flashing amber beacons either side of the road. So like I said, there's no traffic lights. If there's a pedestrian who wants to cross, you need to let them cross. You need to stop and wait for them to get across the road. Never tell them to go either. Okay, so you need to scan the road and see if a pedestrian is going to get to that crossing as you get to the crossing. And if you're not sure they're going to cross, then just slow right down so you know. Okay, so that's a zebra crossing. The other crossings are traffic light controlled. and they've all got the same traffic light sequence as normal traffic lights, apart from a Pelican Crossing. Okay, so a Pelican Crossing, the difference with this one is it has a flashing amber light. The other crossings don't have a flashing amber light, but a Pelican Crossing does. Pelican Crossings flash. So that flashing amber light, that means that you as a driver can drive across the crossing if the crossing's clear. If there's no pedestrians on it, if there's nobody still crossing the road, you can go. You don't have to wait for green. If it's flashing amber, you can drive across. And that's a Pelican Crossing. All the other crossings have the same traffic light sequence. So what's the difference? Puffin. So what does Puffin stand for? Puffin, if you think of pedestrian user friendly, P-U-F, intelligent crossing, P-U-F-I-N, Puffin, pedestrian user friendly intelligent crossing. Okay, so these crossings are user friendly. That means they've got a sensor on top of the traffic light box. They've got a sensor that will detect if pedestrians are still crossing the road, or if it's clear, or if a pedestrian is standing on the area waiting to cross the road. So that means the traffic lights can change. If nobody's there, then the sequence can be quicker or slower. Okay, so a Puffin, pedestrian user friendly, pedestrian user friendly. They are user friendly. They've got they have got a sensor that senses, detects when pedestrians are waiting to cross. Does that make sense? Let me know if it doesn't. I'll debrief you all of these at the end. Toucan, two can cross. Okay, so Toucan crossings are for cyclists and pedestrians. Cyclists and pedestrians can cross the road together. Toucan cross. And then finally, there's the Pegasus Crossing. Another traffic light controlled one, but Pegasus is designed for horse riders and pedestrians. So the crossing, the bit that you cross the road, is a bit wider, so horse riders can get across. And they have two sets of buttons. You know the buttons that you press so you can stop the traffic? They'll have one at pedestrian height and one higher up, so people don't have to get off the horses to press the button. Okay, so a Pegasus Crossing is for horse riders and pedestrians. Let's go through that again very quickly for you. Okay, so there's 5 types of crossing. A zebra crossing, striped like a zebra. The other 4 crossings are traffic light controlled. A Pelican is got a flashing amber light. Different to all the others, it has a flashing amber light, which means you can drive across if no one's on the crossing. A Puffin, pedestrian user friendly intelligent crossing, has got a sensor, user friendly intelligent, got a sensor that detects when people are on the crossing. Toucan cross, that is for a cyclist and a pedestrian, and a Pegasus is for horse riders and pedestrians. I hope all that makes sense to you. If you've got any questions, then please pop them in the box and I will come back on and let you know. Like I say, that is all explained really easily with pictures, etc., to make it much easier for you to remember on my online theory workshop. I'll put a link to my theory workshop in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in with the notes, a link to my online theory workshop. And otherwise, you can email me on info@spot-on-driving.co.uk. I hope that's helped, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.